I once asked David Schwartz, who was the most important person to the future of Ripple? Was it himself for building the XRP Ledger? Was it Arthur Brito for contributing to the DEX? Or I said, maybe is it Jed McCaleb, that's who I thought he was going to pick, for recognizing you could run a blockchain without mining, because that was novel in its day. Everyone thought mining was the secret sauce. Jed McCaleb said, no, it's nothing to do with that. He surprised me. He didn't say any of those picks. He says Chris Larsen, without a doubt. Chris Larsen had vision that no one else could see. He could peek around the corner and see where this industry was going. I have a clip from Chris Larsen where he's going to tell us what the future looks like for mass adoption of the XRP Ledger. And it may not be what most people are thinking. It may not look anything like that. We'll discuss. We also have David Schwartz saying, what's one of the biggest use cases for blockchain technology? What are those use cases? We will see massive adoption and use case and volume. And again, it's one of those areas most people may not look. We have some outlooks for 2026, how this market should play out. Let's just get into it. To start out with, Chris Larsen. He was giving a presentation to the California State Assembly. This was some years back. XRP, the silent takeover. Chris Larsen confirms adoption. It likely comes without an announcement. A lot of fanfare, none of that kind of stuff. XRP Ledger will power the future without the general public even knowing or caring what's going on. It's not about the crypto enthusiast that wants to use this technology and prove it's great. Literally, there'll be a flippening. It is the pipeline of the future. All of a sudden, you're sending a payment internationally, wherever. It's just fast, cheap, reliable, and it just works as it should, as a modern financial system. This is the back end that no one is even going to look at, but it's the foundation for all the value. That's what the future looks like, and that's what mass adoption looks like. It's literally flipping the switch over to the new system, and no one knows or cares. The average user doesn't care about all this blockchain stuff any more than what is powering the technology that brings this video right now. Tell me all the different technologies that brings me into your living room or on your phone, wherever you are. You don't care. You just hit play and it works. And the financial system is going to be much the same. That is how the system has been built out. That's what the XRP Ledger is being built for. Not for the enthusiast, not for the person that, is all about cryptocurrencies. It's just about real people trying to do real things and bringing the financial system up to the modern era. That's what mass adoption will look like, according to Chris Larsen. Now, we had Grayscale. They just put out a report. There's a video on my X. You can check it out. But they're saying in 2026, crypto regs pass. And that's, to me, really bullish, because I'm worried, it's an election year. It's the midterms. A lot of people saying it won't happen. Grayscale saying it's going to happen. There will be a bipartisan vote in support for crypto regulations in 2026. And they go on to say that Fortune 500 companies, they're going to be issuing tokens as a natural part of their capital structure alongside of stocks and bonds. 2025 has really been legalizing investing in the coins. We say, hey, they're not securities, all this kind of stuff. 2026 is going to legalize the use case of blockchain, the utility. So I put that question, who wins? What blockchains in an era where we're actually using this technology to service customers, to bring new financial products? What blockchains will excel in 2026 when it's not about an idea or a white paper, it's about actually using this technology? Those are going to be the blockchains that are most successful in 2026, because you're going to onboard an awful lot of people if this crypto regulation gets passed, and it sounded like it may. Again, I've been kind of negative about it, but Grayscale is saying I'm wrong. And I would listen to Grayscale, not me. That's going to be huge. You want to participate in the future of the XRP Ledger? Join the Zao DAO. Now you can use your Salmon wallet or your Buy For Us wallet. It's $10 for a lifetime membership payable in XRP. Have a voice in the future of this blockchain. Get profits in the future of the Zao DAO from its various businesses that we'll have. This is a big deal. The first DAO in the history of the XRP Ledger. There'll be a link down below in the pinned comment and in the description. Participate in the future of blockchain. Let's make the XRP Ledger the most decentralized technology without any argument. That's a big deal. Links down below. Join the Zao DAO. Now, we saw this here from Wharton, professor Jeremy Siegel. He says there's really three tests that decide 2026, if this is going to be a good year for us in financial markets. Again, that could be stocks, crypto, whatever. And if you think about it, 2025 was chaotic. We had the longest government shutdown in history. We had, tariffs, basically the United States versus the world. It was chaos. And so if we can clear these three things in quickness with good resolutions, hey, 2026 may be smooth sailing. And the first one he says is government shutdown risk. We're back here again in January. Can the Fed, can the government figure out a way to get a deal done so we don't go back into a shutdown? If it's a short shutdown or no shutdown at all, preferably, that's going to be bullish. If we, go for the longest shutdown again, that ain't great. Every time we got going in 2025, something jumped up here. We need some runway. If we can figure that out, that'll be a big deal. Supreme Court tariff ruling. That could cause a lot of chaos, of course. If they say, you know what? Those were illegal tariffs and you got to give all that money back. That's going to create a lot of problems. And lastly, new Fed chair announcement. Does the market accept the new Fed chair? Do they like it? Do they believe in the future vision of that chair? If those three things fall in line, 2026 is going to be crazy. Keep your eye on that. And the good thing is they all hit really quick. So we should get a good idea of 2026 pretty early on there. We have here retail is panic selling, but institutions, they're quietly accumulating. Bitwise CIO Matt Hougan explains institutional capital, it doesn't chase candles, it moves methodically. And that's what we see happening here. The average institution takes 8 internal meetings before allocating. That could be monthly meetings or quarterly meetings. And many of the large funds are just now starting approving crypto exposure. So we're not at the tail end of this stuff. We haven't already seen all the institutional capital yet. It is just now starting. The real inflows aren't behind us, they're in front of us, and that should be exciting. Old crypto was chaos, blow off tops. New crypto cycles look like slow, durable capital rotation. Retail sells fear. Institutions are building positions. We want to act with the big money, the smart money. That's what it's about. David Schwartz, he really said the quiet part out loud. XRP Ledger will capture billions of people who don't need 20% gains compounding monthly. No, they're not looking to 10x their money. They just want rational, reasonable investments. If they have a safe way to invest in a money market or some S&P type fund, just reasonable investments. Here in the US and much of the West and pretty much a lot of areas of the world, we are overserved and great investment opportunities, but that's not the case globally. There's a lot of people where banking and investments, they're just not there. They are not serviced correctly, but now with blockchain, you can service them at almost no cost, and you can onboard all that money. And maybe per person, it's not huge, but in aggregate, in totality, it's massive. And this is really where the XRP Ledger can, come into fray here. It's not about complicated technology. It's about fair access to core financial services. That's the future of blockchain, onboarding regular folks, everyday people, to do something of value much more efficiently than you could in the past. And when you add that all up, what that could mean as far as investment capital flowing into markets, onboarding users of blockchain, we're talking about billions of people and just trillions of dollars. It is massive, and that's really what we're looking for. We're not looking for, again, the crazy stuff. It's just being able to service regular folks and giving them very reasonable and acceptable investments. That's the future of this technology here. Lastly, strategy finds safety in cash over Bitcoin. I haven't talked about this yet, but the company sold even more stock. And what that does, that dilutes shareholders. Yes, the company still holds all its Bitcoin, but as a shareholder, you have less Bitcoin per share. You have a loss, and they're building a $2.2 billion cash reserve. This kills their whole, really outlook on the future. They always say, take all of your cash, everything you got. Bitcoin is safety, but they're finding safety in cash reserves, and this is an unproductive dilution. They're not selling stock to buy more Bitcoin. They're selling stock to get cash that's going to go right out the door in dividend payments. Is Saylor in trouble? Well, I think long term. Again, I believe the crypto market will see an uptick here as we start off 2026, but he has to continue this game, borrowing to infinity, more preferred stock. And eventually, if not now, down the road, he's going to run into a buzzsaw. You have to be able to service your debt. He has no real business to do that. And I think absolutely. Again, I put as part of this post, Saylor once told people, put all your cash in Bitcoin. Sell everything you got. Mortgage your homes and your family businesses. But now that Bitcoin's dipped a little bit, he's changing his tune. He specifically is trying to raise cash for safety. Now, that's not what he told you to do, but that's what he's doing to me, is irresponsible. He's a gambler, and probably not now, but eventually it's not going to end well. Let me know what you think down below. As always, please like, please subscribe. The revolution will be televised right here on Jungle Link.